Lightworkers! It's Angel Sunday. Yay! Did anybody watch the videos last week? There were 2 because my phone shut off because it got hot. Hopefully it doesn't happen this time. I tried to put it on the air conditioner a little bit so it doesn't happen. Anyway, how was your week? Did you have a wonderful week? I love this light coming through. Woo! Thank you. I appreciate it. Speaking of light, I just saw a really cool video that was about the 44,000, right? You hear about the 144,000 frequency, which as light workers, of course, we're a part of. It was really interesting. She broke it up into 2 groups, and she said that one group was really digging into the earth and the energies of the earth and really helping the earth and healing the earth, and it's the souls that, you know, aren't ready to astral travel and get messages and channel and download and all those things. And then the other half of the 144,000, okay, they are the ones that are the galactics, she named us. And I am one of those because we are the ones doing that work, channeling messages, astral traveling, leading, teaching, healing, growing, doing all the things that we're supposed to do at 144 on the timer. Validation. And that was really cool to hear that we've broken up so that we can do what we need to do. And the last message that I got, I forget when, I think it was last week, an Angel Sunday, that it was that everyone on earth is actually a light worker, but some people just don't realize it yet, which is okay. And we have to just encourage them to wake up. Everybody will wake up. It's just a matter of when and when they're ready. Like you can't wake up and not be ready, because you remember when you woke up? If I wasn't ready, I don't know what I'd. I already thought that I was absolutely crazy. I knew in my heart that everything that I was feeling and receiving and just knowing was 100% true. I just knew that there were past lives. I knew that there was heaven. I knew that Jesus was my best friend. I knew that you know, I was very close to Mother Mary. I just knew all these things. I knew that God was my best friend, and I wasn't afraid of God at all. And that's because I came in, I believe I came in awake. I came in the divine feminine already. I didn't have to like try to learn how to be divine feminine or wake up. I just had to be encouraged to remember in a way. And I remembered really easily. I mean, I was young. I was like 7 when I was like, yeah, there are past lives. Absolutely. And I've had a lot of them. And I just knew that this wasn't the first life and it wasn't the last life for, you know, all these people. I just knew. Did you just know? Like, what was your experience even as a kid with all of your spiritual learning and practices and understandings? Let's call them understandings. What was it for you? So anyway, that was a really cool video. Now, that's not really what I wanted to talk about on Angel Sunday, but it just goes along with everything that is happening right now. It's very interesting. I was reading, and when I say reading, I'm listening to Dolores Cannon, one of our big, you know, hypnotist regressionist, that she went in between the lives in her, I think it's called Between the Lives. Literally, I think that's the name of the book. And I was like, oh, let me read this. And it's kind of like nothing I didn't know already, but I love the validations of it. And 4444 on the timer. So validation of me listening to this book. This was really cool. And I actually wrote this down to talk about during Angel Sunday, is that suicide. And as I was driving, I saw a a heart in the clouds. So I want to talk about suicide and how it affects the soul. And I love that that car is turning right now. That car that was in front of me for a long time was 444 on their license plate. Just another validation. How many validations do you get all day long? I mean, I get them on top of each other. It's really cool. Really cool. So, anyway, suicide. Tough topic, but we got to talk about it. So, what Dolores heard from the soul that she regressed is that suicide is never in your contract. And you know, this makes more sense. Like, I thought that, like, suicide sometimes was in the person's soul contract. I mean, maybe it is, maybe. But I think more times than not, I think that would be very rare. But I think more times than not, it's the life is done. They feel like they can't do anything else. They haven't learned the lessons, and it's too hard for them to learn the lessons. Okay? So they end the life. They end the experience. They end this lifetime. What happens after a soul commits suicide? They take their own life. It's not good, okay? It's not good to do it. So please just go through your lessons. This was very, very, very interesting. So if it was very violent and it was very traumatic and the soul is really having a hard time getting through the lessons that they were supposed to, they go to the resting place in heaven when we go home. Okay, heaven, home, what the place that we go to after we die, whatever it's called. It doesn't really matter. Words and names and all this stuff, that doesn't matter there. It matters here. So we put words to it. But anyway, they go to the resting place, which is this beautiful location where you just get healed with lights and light and love and peace, and you just feel completely at peace. It releases all the toxic negativities, and the spirit that she was actually channeling, that soul said that even as humans in our life on earth, we're able to go there. If you can do a deep meditation and get there, you're allowed to go there, and it will release everything that you don't need now. Pretty cool. I tried to go there. I think I fell asleep though. Maybe I'll try to like lead us through a meditation. Let me see if I'm supposed to do that. We'll see. I can't just take everybody. I was told once, Elena, you can't just flit in and out of heaven. Like, you can't just do that. There are certain things that we're not allowed to do and not allowed to know and not allowed to say and share and everything. And it's really cool in this book. It's sometimes the soul will be like, no, you can't know that. You wouldn't understand that. You're not ready to hear that. That would alter your life. No. And it's like, she's like, well, I want to. And they're like, no, we have to go now. I'm like, the session ends. Because she like got too close to it or something. It was very interesting. So I had that experience. My gosh. 2013, 2014, 2012, when I was teaching meditation and I was taking everybody on this astral journey, and we went to the mountains and the desert. I was like, I want to go to heaven. They were like, no, you can't just flit in and out of heaven. I was like, why? You showed me it before. They were like, that was a memory. You can't just go to heaven when you're still on earth. But apparently we can go to this resting place, the healing place, which I'm going to do. I'll see if I can take everybody with me. Let me try to do it on my own first. That would be cool. All right. So anyway, back to suicide. So what happens is you go to the resting place, you heal up, and then it's multiple lifetimes. Like, you really work with your guides and your counselors, they call them. The counselors are higher than the guides. And just, the souls that are going to be, or the spirits or the entities that are in the afterlife place that help us to make content, 10 on the timer, that make us these new contracts so we can come back. Okay? So, very interesting. We create the new contract, and it's hard still. Like, you still have to learn that lesson that you took your own life, that you were like, nah, I don't want to do that, can't do it, I'm out. They send you right back, and you gotta learn that lesson. And until you do, you keep having the same lifetime over and over and over until you get through that lesson. Yikes. So, moral of the story is, don't commit suicide. If you feel like you're going to commit suicide, if you feel like, man, there's just no other way for me, please talk to someone about it. Please go to a spiritual healer. Please do some work before you really make that humongous, ultimate, tremendous, terrible decision for your soul. Think about your soul. Think about your soul now clawing its way through 3 more lives because you decided to end this one. Can we think about your future soul, please? I really love that. Okay? Okay? So that sounds good to me. Now, this was interesting. If you thought that was interesting, this is even more interesting. So very rarely, the soul said, if the life is turning out in a not great direction and the mission has been altered or stopped or whatever, for whatever reason, you can actually end the contract in the proper way, not suicide, but your soul will know that it's time to exit this life. Whoa, right? I've kind of seen that in 2 lifetimes, which well, one of them was very negative. I was being abused and taken advantage of and put down by my husband in the Revolutionary War. He was the general. And I willed myself to die. Yeah, I remember that lifetime. Remember, I've seen 99 of my past lifetimes. Now, a more recent one that I just saw, it was with Forever Soulmate, Mr. Forever, we're calling him. And he was my son. And my husband, who was Ultimate Soulmate, who I've spoken about. Ultimate Soulmate was the husband. We were in, I believe it was Scotland. It felt like Scotland. And we were farmers. And Ultimate Soulmate, father of Forever Soulmate, he got injured real bad. He lost his hand in an injury on the farm. Forever Soulmate was about a teenager, and he took over the farm and everything, and then Ultimate Soulmate got a disease and he died. Okay? And I was burying him, and I loved him, and he was my husband, and I was sad. And my son said, "I'm not going to leave you, Mom." And I said, "What? You absolutely need to leave me, because you need to go on and you need to find your true love. I found mine, your father. You need to go on. Like, no, you're not staying with me." And he refused to leave me. And so I willed myself to die again. So I suppose in those 2 lifetimes, wow, I'm like feeling really clear about this. In those 2 lifetimes, I did that. I probably petitioned the council and I said, "Look, I got to do this. I'm being abused, and this life is going nowhere. The mission's done. I can't do this anymore." And they took me out with early death. I think I was in like my 40s for sure. Maybe late 30s. Interesting. And then with being the mom, I was like, he's not going to leave me. He needs to go on and have his own life and find his love that was coming to him. And so I believe I willed myself to die. I'm getting like around my 50s, late 40s, early 50s. Interesting. Isn't that interesting? Oh, I love that. Woo! And this is a really cool part of the story. So I've seen 9 past lives with him. A man that I haven't even met, which is fabulous. Anyway, so after he buried me, because he said he would never leave me, so he really didn't, he left the farm. He walked into another town, and he saw a woman pumping the well to get water. Their eyes locked, and that was it. They were in love and married, like, almost instantly. I feel her name in this lifetime, which I don't know yet, which is really interesting. I'm going to ask him. I feel like her name was Rebecca, and they got married, and guess who they had as their daughter? Me. That was lifetime number 9. Actually, I saw me as his daughter first, and then I saw him as my son, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's my mother. Because I knew Rebecca was my mother in that lifetime. I was like, that was the life right after I died. Because that's the thing about souls.